Oh, I barely, well, I really have a chance to come on here to do some of my stories. And Lord knows, I have a lot of stories that I love telling. Um, and a lot of them are true, as they all are. So this story is no different. This is a very, very true story. And it's basically how Walmart turned me into a trans activist. And yeah, it is true. And this is how. Back in 2004, I was hired um, as a cashier at Walmart. I got, this was like in June. And I remember being happy because it was like my first time gaining a job that was a very stable one, you know. Because around that time I was looking for work. I really want to, start earning my own money. I want to become independent, and not having to, ask my grandmother or family for money. I really wanted to do things on my own, and so it was good. Like I got hired there. I was like one of the first employees hired at a brand new super Walmart. It was called like Walmart Super Center, and it was like the first one in California, I think. And it was in the city of La Quinta, store 1805. Look it up. And so I was hired as a cashier, and around the same time that I got hired was around the same time that I was starting to finally come out. I came out as transgender while I was working there, and um, and so things are, in most part, was great. It was a really good job. You don't think that Walmart was a place that people would enjoy working there, but I think I did, mainly because the pay was great at the time, and I mean, like, I loved having health insurance, and also I think at the time I kind of resided into this fact that I wasn't gonna do much with my life. I had no ambitions to do anything else, even though I still want to get into music, and I was working on my music at the time that I was working at Walmart. But it was something that, I mean, like, it comforted me at the time, working there, and so I worked there, and like I had a good rapport with everybody, like, and I wasn't like the only kind of queer person that was working there. There's like about like four lesbians that work in there as well, and stuff. And but I think as time went on, they start to weed out like a lot of the lot of the queer people that was working there. The two older lesbians, they end up quitting, and then these two girls that were a couple, they end up quitting and stuff. And so I was like the only queer person working there, and um what happened was October came around, and this was like one of those days where we just had like so many people um going to Walmart. It was like a very busy day. And I worked at the garden center. I was a garden center cashier. Before that, I was cashiering everywhere. I was doing customer service, layaway, sporting goods, automobile, um, and then the front lines as well. Hey, Malaya. And but then they put me in garden center, which I was happy to be at. Like, sort of like away from the action. And plus we had like a really good rapport going on in the garden center with all of our team over there. Like, we became like an instant kind of family. But what happened was, one of these days, it was getting busy, and so they're taking my cashiers in the garden center, putting them in the front line. Um, and so I was left alone, um, scanning people out. And if you knew the layout of Walmart where I worked at, there was garden center, then there was animals, pet stuff, and then there was health and beauty. The line for my cash register went from mine all the way to health and beauty. So we had like a lot of people trying to go through my area to cash out. And I just remember just going very, very fast. Like, I was a very fast cashier. I broke records while I was working there and stuff. And then also when on one customer, I took like a thing of detergent, put it into a bag, and then there's this thing down here where you have to take the bags out, and then put it somewhere. And then so I took the bag, and then when I took the bag, it totally got me in the groin area. I was peeing blood for about 2 days, and and so I got injured on the job, and so I filled out a report, an incident report, and then they had me first go home and stuff, like and then they said you take a couple of days off, and then I came back and I was still in pain. I was still uh, hard to like stand up while you're still in so much pain. So they put me on restrictive duty. They put me on answering phones at the fitting rooms where the clothes are, and then they will also have me being a door grader and stuff. So I sit on the chair, greet people and stuff. And on one of these days, there was like this girl who filled up a shopping cart with more items that were to the amount of $4,000 of merchandise. A lot of it was electronics. And I stopped the girl. I stopped her from taking the basket because the alarms were going off. And I said, "Do you have the receipt?" And she didn't show me a receipt. She was trying to take it. And I took the cart. She only made off with a couple of things that were only like about $50 items. Um, and so I saved the company like a lot of money that day, um, but then what happened was I was still not feeling it. I realized that I couldn't totally recover from my injury while going to work every day. So they said, okay, well, what we'll do is we'll put you on medical leave, take a week off, um, and then you could come back and stuff. I said, okay, that'll be great, because I was starting to take medication at this time to help out what was going on down there and stuff, and I really needed like the rest, because I really couldn't be on my feet. Um, in midway of me being on medical leave, my assistant manager called me and she said, like, we need you to come back to work. I said, well, I can't because the medicine is still knocking me out a lot. Like, I'm still not feeling well. I cannot come in. She says, like, well, I need you to come into work. I said, well, I can't. You know, I, I really cannot get out of bed. I'm in so much pain right now. And so, the next week I went back to my work, and then they said, like, before you clock in, we need to meet with you in the office. So I met with them in the office, and they said, we're letting you go. You should have showed up when your boss told you to come in, and you didn't. So we're gonna let you go. I said, well, I couldn't come in. I was sick. I have, the doctor's note, and they're like, we don't care. We're letting you go. So, um, when they let me go, I remember calling my dad, and he was, and and the thing is, when I got hurt, my dad was telling me, you need to get a workers' comp attorney. You need to get a workers' comp attorney. I was like, I don't want to get a workers' comp attorney, Dad. I don't want to, mess up what I have going on with Walmart. I don't want to shake any trees, and I love my job, so I don't want to do anything that might jeopardize my employment, and plus I knew that if I got workers' comp attorney and I got some money, my dad would have probably asked me for money because he was doing that anyway. And so I didn't take his advice. But then after I got fired, I called my dad. I said, you know what? I think I need a workers' comp attorney. So before Walmart was able to put in all the paperwork they needed to, terminate my, um, um, yeah, I should have. And so before they were able to finalize, my termination, My dad and I, we called a workers' comp attorney, and then we ended up suing them. We ended up, you know, serving them papers, and so this is like in November. They fired me in November. Um, yeah, and so this kind of like dragged on for a bit. Like my attorneys got me like a new doctor. They saw that I did have like a groin contusion that happened and stuff, and so I needed to be like on really good meds. They sent me to Eisenhower and stuff like that, and so and hey Dusty, and um that sort of went on like for about a couple of months. Around that time my uncle passed away, so I was dealing with being injured at the same time dealing with the death in the family, and and then in March of 2006, we're now I got fired in November 2005. Now we're in March 2006. I had a meeting with my attorneys and stuff. We met in Palm Desert, and then some of the Walmart people were there as well. And I remember there being a stenographer there, like someone that did all the typing and stuff. And so they say like this is what Walmart's offering you. And so they gave me they offered me $3,500, but I only got 3,200 out of it because I had to pay lawyers fees and stuff like that. Um, and so I took that money, and what I did with that money was I instead of going straight to into retail, I decided that I want to get like a college education. For one thing, around that time I was still making my music, and I really want to study music in college. And so I took that money and I invested my first year into college, and then filling out the bog waiver and everything I needed, the Pell Grant stuff, to go into college to continue it. But I used that money to go back to college, and it was perfect timing that I did. And the reason why I said perfect timing was because during the first month that I was there, I was on the computers. I was possibly looking for jobs that I want to apply at and stuff. And I met these two students. That ran what we called the GSA, which was Gay Straight Alliance. Now it's called Gender and Sexualities Alliance, But I met these two students there, and they said like, you should join us, um, and I really want to like be around people because I was still like coming out. I was still coming out as transgender, and I really did want some type of support group to go to, to talk to people about things. And so I joined them, and all of a sudden I found myself getting involved in college. I became the GSA president during my second year there, and made some change in my college, and then I got involved with the student government there, and then that led me to go to Sacramento, where I really became an activist for my community. I worked on like a lot of student bills and stuff. I was asked by Governor Brown to look at this thing called the Fair Education Act and stuff. So I worked on that, and I did like a lot of this work, and so uh, had things would have been better at Walmart, had they would have treated me nice and stuff like that, and everything. I probably would have still would have been there for about a few more years. I think probably would have made it a career. Probably I would have made it to like being a customer service manager or maybe an assistant manager at the store or stuff like that. And I would not have gone to where I'm at now, which is now I'm a very big activist. I could be Googled. I'm in a textbook. I'm director of my own organization and involved in so many other organizations, stuff like that. But had they not fired me, I probably would not have been able to gone to this work. But I guess I do have to thank Walmart for, if they didn't fire me, I would not have become an activist, and got where I'm at right now. Um, so so thank you, Walmart. And I just want to say that, hey, even though you guys pulled out of the DEI, which if you guys don't know what that is, that's the diversity, equity, inclusiveness thing that they just recently pulled out of, saying that we're not going to do any racial equality, we're not going to participate in prides or acknowledge it or anything like that. I just want them to know that sure, you guys might have cut this off, but hey, let you guys had one of the best activists working with you guys, and it's because of you guys that our community now has one more activist, fighting this fight. So, um, you guys really didn't win. You guys didn't really win on this. I think our community won, um, because I became part of the community. I'm now here doing the fighting for our our lives and rights and stuff. So you actually did our community a favor. And so, and yeah, I will not be shopping at your place anymore. Um, I didn't shop at Walmart for like a good 5 or 6 years after I got fired. It wasn't until possibly 2013 that I stepped into a Walmart again. And, but now that's done. I totally suspended my Walmart.com account, not going to shop there anymore. You guys are not going to get my money anymore. And you're not going to get the money of the queer community or any other community anymore, So, you guys are going to have to, take that loss and, stick it up your ass, while we're going to take our money to Target or Target, as we call it. So that's my story. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry it was a long story, but hey, this is my life, and there's like a lot that I like, elaborating on a lot of things, with my time at Walmart and stuff like that. But it is sad that Walmart went down that way. It's sad that they became MAGA. It's sad that they treated their associates bad, and overall it was sad too of seeing that relationship with them go sour so fast, and I will still sometimes bump into people that I worked with, and they're like, "Oh my God, we missed you so much. When are you? You should come back." I was like, "I can't come back. I already sued their asses. They're not gonna fight me back, and I don't need to go back. I'm now doing my own work with my community, and doing my stuff. So it's like I cannot go back to doing stuff like Walmart anymore. It's just not in the cards anymore for me to go back to doing retail." Um, Oh, and if you guys wondered, I did get a retail job after Walmart, and that was at Hollister and Company. But that is another story too. I can't wait to tell that story of Hollister, and the bigotry that I experienced with them. Um, so that'll be in another video. So thank you so much for watching this one. Thank you, Malia and Dusty, for stopping by, and everybody else that's watched this, and um, so yeah, let's continue this fight, and I'll be back with more stories as time goes on. Bye.